Hello, boys and girls! With Factorio Space Age, quality was introduced. You can finish the game without ever using it. But what exactly is quality? How do we get it? And where does it actually make sense? Today we will work through those questions. Quality exists. Whether you need it is debatable. Let's make it less debatable. Let's start with the basics. Quality is an attribute applied to items and buildings. It improves certain properties of an entity, depending on what that entity is. Most commonly, it means increased health for buildings. But there are several other bonuses we will look at later. Quality comes in 5 tiers. Normal is the default with no bonuses. From there, quality increases step by step all the way up to legendary at the top. Quality is introduced through quality modules. Speed modules reduce your chances and work against quality. When we produce an item in a machine with quality modules installed, there is a percentage chance that the output will have a higher quality than the input. This introduces statistics into the process. Don't worry, no one is grading you. So how do we actually produce high quality items in practice? There are 3 main ways. Everything else is just a variation of these. There are 3 approaches. Only one of them feels good. Tier 3 quality modules are unlocked on the Volgura, where we also gain access to recycling. This gives us the first approach. By installing quality modules in recyclers, recycled items have a chance to come out at a higher quality. Since recyclers have 4 module slots, they are comparable to Assembler 3. This approach, however, only upgrades items themselves. It does not allow us to directly produce buildings or modules that benefit from quality bonuses. For that, we need the second approach. Producing items in factory buildings with many module slots, increasing the chance of higher quality output at the source. Before we move on to the third approach, which is by far the strongest, we need to address a major downside. Both of these methods produce a mix of different quality levels. This is the unavoidable consequence of probabilistic output. To handle this, we filter items by quality and recycle everything that does not meet our standards, again with quality modules in the mix. That way, the amount of items is reduced while the quality rises over time. The key idea is that with quality applied, output can be better than the input. We can produce items using the second approach, then recycle the unwanted quality levels using the first, gradually pushing the average quality upwards. Is there a way to gain more control over the result? Yes. We can directly define the quality level we want to produce. This solves the problem completely at the cost of creating a new one. The trade-off is that all input materials must already match the desired output quality. Quality only exists on items, not on fluids. So fluids always count as normal. This means the entire production chain must operate at the same quality level. Fortunately, the number of basic materials is much smaller than the number of end products. No matter which approach we choose, reaching the highest quality level consumes a significant amount of resources. Yes, that's a lot of resources. That's how you know it's endgame. For basic materials like iron, copper, sulfur, and coal, one practical option is to move production into space. Space platforms remove most scaling constraints. There, we can scale almost infinitely by adding more platforms. In the end, demand is limited. Once everything useful has been upgraded to the highest quality, additional production is only needed when expanding. Because high quality items are relatively rare, it makes sense to be selective about where quality is applied. Quality is powerful. That does not mean it belongs everywhere. A strong starting point is legendary quality modules. They more than double the chance of producing higher quality output and improve the entire production pipeline. Quality can also be applied to other module types, enhancing their primary effects. Quality power poles can be useful as both wire reach and powered area increase. For power generation itself, quality is often less attractive. Power output increases, but fuel consumption increases as well. Output and consumption scale together. Main exception is fusion reactors on space platforms, where higher output within the same footprint is valuable. On planets, simply building more power plants is usually easier. Solar power behaves differently. Higher quality solar panels are more efficient and are especially valuable on space platforms where space is limited. Accumulators follow a similar pattern. Increased capacity makes them particularly useful on Vulgura, where large amounts of energy from lightning strikes need to be stored. On Vulgura, collectors also benefit from quality, gaining increased reach and efficiency. That said, it's not entirely clear whether this improvement is strictly necessary. Robots become faster, inserters rotate faster, and long-handed inserters benefit in particular. Higher quality versions can keep up in layouts where two input rows feed a double-sided factory design. Factory buildings gain increased crafting speed. Chests can store more items, although this is usually only relevant when space is limited. On the military side, turret range increases and ammunition damage improves. Ammunition, however, is consumed in large quantities, which makes producing it at high quality impractical in most cases. Finally, in space travel, storage capacity increases, thrust increases, and fuel consumption increases as well. The same trade-offs we see in power generation apply here. Crushers gain processing speed, but the real standout is the asteroid collector. Finally, something that's unambiguously better. If you want to see a full quality tier list, or if you have opinions on what's actually worth upgrading, let me know in the comments. And if you want more of this kind of breakdown, you know where that button is. Hopefully, this gives you a clear picture of how quality works in Factorio. Next time, we will put all this together and look at how to build a reliable megabase in Space Age.